I saw a post earlier in the women's group in Malta, and I'm feeling called to share certain comments that I saw. So it was about a lady expressing her sadness and anger, rightfully so, in regards to what her 16-year-old daughter experienced while she was out. So her daughter is 16. She was out in Valletta, which is the capital city, and it's very, very safe. This was during daytime, and in a nutshell, just to give you a little bit of summary what happens, her daughter was waiting for the bus, and there was some commotion, and this man, who obviously was having some mental health breakdown, he was screaming, and he started following her, and he was cursing at her and just kept following her. Obviously, the poor girl, she was traumatized. But the most shocking thing about this is that nobody stepped in. Nobody did anything. No men, no women. And this is I don't know if you're familiar with Malta, but this is the capital. It's very busy. It's always busy. There's also many people. So the lady, the mom, brought this attention on the women's group because it's very alarming and shocking. Now, here's what Anonymous said. Well, he did not touch her. He obviously has mental health issues, and he might have been having a bad day, so no harm. Right, so I'm gonna share the science behind this and also my personal experience that I experienced something very, very similar. So I'll give you my point of. So the science behind this. So according to this anonymous comment, since the guy did not touch her, there was no harm. Very wrong, because if you understand how emotions work, everything is energy. We are energy. We are energetic being, electromagnetic beings. We absorb everything. That's why you can feel, some people make you feel high, some people make you feel low. You're picking up on their energy. Okay, there's science. Go look it up. There's science behind all this. So when people experience intense emotions, such as this one, like this girl, it was very, very intense because this guy is screaming and cursing, which is very, very negative, very, very low energy. She's taken on this really low energy on her body. Okay, she's receiving all this energy, these emotions, and it's causing fear. Okay, because of his mental health issues and low energy, they're projected onto her. She's taking on her body. Now, what's happening is this. The brain's job is to keep you away from pain and to keep you safe. Because the brain in this incident is going through a shock, okay, immediately when the brain goes through a shock, a situation like this, immediately the brain will take on a program, right? So in this case, a program that she acquired is out there is dangerous, and I cannot rely on my community to help me if I am in a situation like this, if I'm in danger. Now, thankfully, this girl seems like she has a really good support system. Hopefully, they have the tools to help her nervous system. I did comment to she's expressing and ground to release all that energy that she took on. So grounding, this is what I'm doing right now. I am by the water and I am grounding. So I'm a preacher about grounding, to take your shoes off and go connect with the land every single day. Okay, just this is a really quick way to ground the nervous system. So this is exactly what I would recommend for your young girl to release, it's part of the, I do on a daily basis on myself and also with my clients. So back to why emotions as important as the physical, okay, because it's what I see, with my clients. So I work with both children and adults, but the adults that I work with, they acquire these programs when they were children. So let's say this girl did not have a support. system and she didn't have anybody to talk to, that all that negative energy that she acquired when this happened, then it's going to be suppressed inside her body. Okay, that energy, that negative energy is gonna stay suppressed somewhere inside her body. And if she didn't have people to talk to, a good support, her family, caring family, then over time, and let's say she goes through other instances, you know, where she gets shocked and fear, that energy, so Einstein, physics, energy cannot created nor destroyed. That energy, if it's not being expressed and if it doesn't have outlets, is gonna circulate in the body and it's gonna cause disease, right? It's gonna cause issues in the body. All right, so that's what happens. That's why emotional intelligence is as equal as physical, hygiene. Educators is part of my mission. I used to be a preschool teacher. I'm a mother myself. I wish I knew all the stuff that I know now when my daughter was little. I know all the stuff, so I want to reach as many parents and educators as possible to share how important emotions are on a daily basis. Check in with your kids, your teachers, check in what's going on, because when children go through these situations, they don't have to live with that energy inside the body. They can be able to express, and then it's not turning into something bigger later on. All right, so now I wanna share my personal. This has multiple elements, this story, because also part of my comment was part of nature. Men by nature are meant to protect by nature. Women by nature are the nurturers, okay, the carers, feminine, masculine energies. Where were the men? No men, no protectors. Where were the women? To nurture, to take her in and say it's okay. Or just because he was having mental health issues, it's not okay to be running around and freaking out and projecting all the energy on this poor little girl. So where were the men? Where were the women? And this ties into my personal experience. Last year, I was on a date in Florida, and now I'm an adult, okay, and I work in this field, so it's no big deal for me knowing all this stuff. So I'm on a date, and there was this obvious, health issues guy. He was screaming, and he starts chasing me. And while I'm on the date with this guy, so he starts chasing me, and he got a little bit too close into my bubble, and I could feel his energy. And I didn't like it. So I look at this guy. I'm like, you are the man. You're supposed to be the protector. So I'm thinking all this right now. I didn't say it out loud. This was like second date or something. And the guy kind of just blew it. I was like, oh yeah, he'll go away type of thing. Well, in the instance, I didn't like it, because as a man, you are supposed to be protecting the women. It doesn't matter whether it's your kid, somebody else's kid. As a man, true masculine man, you are designed to protect. Okay, obviously that they did not go any further, because I want to align with the bi masculine who's in the protection energy of like was meant to be, because I could, as a red flag, is like, yeah, no, you're not a protector bi. So I could also feel that intense dark energy coming at. I could share what the poor girl felt, and she's a kid. If you're watching and you don't know my background, I grew up in Malta, right? I grew up in Malta. I left when I was 18. Part of the purpose of this video is to raise awareness and make